When the sun dies or your batteries do, you'll wish you could see what's sneaking up on you. Lucky for you, and by lucky, I mean desperately unfortunate, I've spent the last 72 hours building night vision goggles from materials you can find in a pharmacy checkout aisle and a hardware store dumpster. Before we get started, check out the link in the description to download our ebook. Check out our merch, brand new Christmas stock. Use the discount code YouTube. Link in the description. Now let's get back to the video. Did they work? Define work? Did they glow? Absolutely. Could I see better? That's where things get philosophically complicated. Let's start with why this matters. In a post-apocalyptic scenario, whether that's zombies, societal collapse, or just a really angry bear, darkness is your enemy. Not metaphorically, literally. You cannot see threats in the dark, which means threats see you first, and that's inefficient. Predators have night vision. Bears have night vision. Most things that would like to eat you have night vision. You know what you have? Flashlights that attract attention and get you killed within the first 20 minutes of the apocalypse. So you need something better. You need to see in the dark, without announcing your position like a mobile dinner reservation. This is where most people stop and accept their fate. This is where I stop accepting reality and start improvising. Here's the thing about night vision that the government doesn't want you thinking about too hard. Your eyes already collect light. The problem is they're terrible at it and they know it. They just hang there in your skull, disappointed in themselves. What real night vision goggles do, expensive military ones that definitely do not exist in a post-apocalypse anyway, is amplify ambient light. They take the tiny amounts of photons bouncing around in darkness and say, no more photons, it's light amplification. Simple concept, expensive technology. But here's where the chaos begins. Light doesn't need to be amplified only by electricity. Light loves light. Light is promiscuous. You throw light at reflective surfaces, and those surfaces say thank you and throw it back at you, concentrated, frustrated, like it's been held in traffic for 6 hours. This is called reflection, and it is the optical equivalent of getting someone to repeat what they said by pretending you didn't hear them the first time. Now add chemistry to this mess. Glowsticks, those neon tubes you either used for raves or regret not using for raves, contain a chemical reaction called chemiluminescence. That's not a term. That's a promise that something weird will happen if you break a glass tube filled with proprietary compounds. The chemicals react, electrons get excited. Honestly, they're having the time of their lives, and they release photons as a parting gift. It's real science. It's just being weaponized by a person wearing recycled cardboard and duct tape around their skull. Let's talk about what we're working with, and I use the word working very loosely here. First, glowsticks. The premise is simple. Crack it, shake it, and it produces light for 6 to 12 hours. In the apocalypse, that's not electricity, it's chemistry, and chemistry doesn't require the power grid. Each stick produces roughly the illumination of a really disappointed candle. But multiple sticks create multiple disappointed candles, which paradoxically starts to matter. You'll need several per pair of goggles. Several, we're talking 10 to 15 sticks minimum. Yes, your face will look like a rave had an argument with a hardware store. Second, lenses. We're not talking about high-grade optical glass. This is the apocalypse. You're using reading glasses from a pharmacy, old camera lenses, if you're lucky, or literal plastic bottles filled with water as a substitute for magnification. Water acts as a lens because physics is chaos, and sometimes chaos works in your favor. The purpose here is to concentrate and focus the light from the glowsticks. A magnifying lens works. A Fresnel lens, those flat plastic sheet things that look like they belong in a 1970s appliance, works better. A piece of curved plastic you found behind a dumpster, that might work. Or it might just catch light, like a disappointed mirror. Third, reflective materials. Mirrors are ideal. Aluminum foil is practical. Mylar emergency blankets are embarrassingly effective. The metallicized interior of a potato chip bag is real enough. What matters is that you're placing reflective surfaces behind or around your light sources to bounce light forward, toward your eyes, multiplying the effect. It doesn't work as well as you'd hope, but it works enough to feel like you're onto something. That feeling is 90% of survival anyway. Fourth, tinted filters. This is where we pretend we understand contrast. Your pupils dilate in darkness, which is great, but then you're also sensitive to bright light. Those green-tinted, transparent sheets, the kind you make into 1990s dance club decorations, filter out some wavelengths and enhance others. Green tinting makes sense because human eyes are more sensitive to green light at low illumination. This is also why night vision goggles are that eerie green color. We're not replicating military tech. We're replicating the aesthetic of military tech while operating on the logic of a fever dream. Here's where it gets interesting, meaning here's where it becomes impossible to explain without sounding deranged. Imagine a frame, and I mean literally imagine it, because constructing this from cardboard and determination is a journey shaped like goggles. You've got two eye sockets. Into those sockets, you're mounting your lenses. Behind or next to those lenses, you're positioning 4 to 8 activated glow sticks, arranged in clusters. Around those glow sticks, you're positioning reflective materials, foil, mylar, mirrored plastic, creating a makeshift chamber that bounces light forward toward the lenses like a very passive-aggressive argument between light sources. You're adding tinted filters, the green sheets, as a layer between the glowing chaos and your eyeballs. Think of it as a buffer between hope and disappointment. The whole apparatus is mounted on a headband, probably made from bicycle inner tube or salvaged leather, or whatever you found that won't actively fall apart. The geometry here matters. Light travels in straight lines unless it's reflected. Your reflective surfaces need to angle so that light from the glowsticks bounces forward, through the lenses, filtered, and into your eyes. This isn't complex optics. This is billiards with photons. You're setting up shots where light goes where you need it to go. The result is a headpiece that looks like you've duct-taped a rave to your face and also lost a long debate with physics. So you strap this thing on. Your face glows like you've just been selected as the official beacon of bad decisions. You activate 10 glow sticks. You need 10. Trust me, don't ask why. It's inefficient and it doesn't matter. And now you're standing in a dark room, looking like the world's saddest light show. And here's the thing, it actually kind of works. Your eyes adjust. The concentrated glow, bounced by reflective surfaces and filtered through tinted plastic, creates enough ambient light that you can make out shapes in darkness. Not details, not clarity, shapes, vague shapes. Vague shapes, possibly threatening shapes, probably just furniture. But in the apocalypse, you're treating all shapes as threats anyway. So yes, you can see better, marginally, barely, in the way that a broken watch is right twice a day. But here's the catch that ruins everything. You're incredibly visible. You're a mobile glowstick shrine. Anything with eyes, and basically everything has eyes, can see you from a mile away. You've solved the problem of seeing in darkness by becoming a beacon. You've weaponized chemistry against yourself. You're a lighthouse for whatever wants to eat you. Testing this in an actual apocalypse scenario means choosing between two bad options. Be invisible and blind, or be glowing and visible, while seeing slightly more clearly. It's the optical equivalent of choosing between two terrible restaurant options because the apocalypse only has 2 restaurants and they're both closed. Sometimes it's not about seeing better, it's about pretending you can. In survival situations, psychology matters as much as physics. If you believe you can see threats coming, you move differently, you stand straighter, you make better decisions. You convince yourself that the glowing cardboard shrine on your head is a legitimate tactical advantage. And maybe, just maybe, the confidence you exude because of it actually is an advantage. Predators, even human ones, target prey that appears hesitant. If you're glowing and moving like you've got night vision, even if it's a lie held together with duct tape and chemistry, potential threats might recalculate their risk assessment. The real night vision isn't what your DIY goggles provide. It's what they convince you that you possess. That said, use them strategically. Use them when you need to move carefully through darkness. Use them when stationary threats matter more than visibility. But if you're being hunted, these goggles just paint a target on your face. In the apocalypse, sometimes stealth beats optics. Sometimes darkness is your friend because it hides you too. The goggles are a tool, like a knife, like fire, like confidence, like fear. They all work until they don't, and usually they don't work exactly when you need them most. In the dark, confidence is half the vision. The other half is admitting you can't see and moving accordingly. You've watched this far, which means you're either genuinely interested in DIY night vision or you're waiting for a punchline. Here's the punchline. When civilization collapses, you're going to be fumbling around in the dark anyway. At least this way, you'll glow while you do it. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and prepare for darkness in ways that make sense and in ways that definitely don't. See you in the next video. Lights out.